It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, Thank Me Later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up. Session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDucking in UPX.
What's going on, fellow Uplanders? I gotta add. There we are.
How dare you?
You popped in. I thought you would add yourself. But anyway, welcome to the Upland Property Experts Podcast. I am your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, joined right on time by ThankMeLater. How are we doing this evening, brother?
Just in time. Yeah, fantastic. Is today the last day that they're going to hear that beautiful theme?
No, one more week.
One more week? Okay.
Yeah. So next week, we're going to have Mars, Utah on, and he claims that he's going to do that live, the intro live for us. So it will be the theme music with him rocking it. And then we're going to debut the brand new theme song to the UPX podcast. Sorry, Edan. Once again, it's not a rock song. It's Mars did find a awesome beat. And
but wait, what if we don't like it as much as the original?
We can go back to it.
We can go back. Okay. So it's not like that's mean. I'm sure it's going to be killer. I'm just teasing. I mean, 2 years is a good time. Like that's.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hyde Park Ninjas in the house.
What up? But that's the thing, change is always a hard thing for people to undertake right away. And, we'll always have a special place in our heart for McDuckin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll pop up maybe in like a year end or like a fun recap. I'm sure it won't be away forever. Like it'll come up periodically. And I'm sure the new one is an absolute banger too.
Oh,
it has to be, right?
It has to be. Mars is doing it, so it's got to be a banger.
It's got to be a banger.
And once again, we did find a wonderful beat by Ghost Beats. And
wait, is that the same person?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. Go Ghost Beats.
Yeah, so he does some good stuff.
Nice.
And this is episode 146. And that's what a lot of people don't know is our theme song is actually called McDuckin.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I guess I
think you did, but just never.
I don't think I ever put it together. I don't think I've ever thought, what's the name of our theme song? It's the UPX Podcast theme song. That's like if I was to Google it, that's what I would Google.
Well, yeah,
it's McDuckin by Mars, Utah is like the official. Like, is it on Spotify?
No, because we did not buy the total rights to the song.
You cheap ass,
dude! It was. I don't have that kind of money. Just
how
for
much was it?
Song.
Can you disclose that? Like how much they wanted?
About $5,000.
Oh, sorry, Mars. We like you, but. I thought it was gonna be like $100. Like I don't know. Like
no. When you sell exclusive rights and you're not giving any points back, it's just a one-time payment for the beat.
Oh, dude, why aren't you giving him points back? Just give him some points. Who cares?
Because a lot of people like that don't want points unless you're an established artist. So you can't be a nobody and say I give you points back.
Oh yeah, because then they're like, yeah, dude, we'll give you what? You want 30 points on $0? Right? Yeah. And they're like, you guys have like 7 people that watch you, so no.
We got way more than 7
I'm just teasing. There's just 7. There's 7 that show up on this. I don't even think it's accurate, but whatever. Yo, Reels.
They have not said if travel's going to be free yet.
I'm not. What is there? Is there a new city?
Portugal, buddy.
I'm teasing.
Oh, okay.
Portugal, yes.
Yes, Portugal. We do have a lot going on this episode. A lot happened in the last week. Pretty busy week in Upland.
It's been a busy week everywhere, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting. One of the things that was released on the Upland website ties into kind of what UPX World is doing. And there's exciting news from there that we'll definitely touch on.
You're talking about the thing that just launched, the latest thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Like the big announcement yesterday about 6 p.m. Eastern time.
No, what was that? There's so many announcements.
Did you announce something new today that I missed?
Oh, wait, dude. Are you talking about my announcement?
Yeah, your announcement.
Oh, what about my announcement? I was talking about Upland's announcement.
Oh, which Upland announcement?
Oh, boy, wait, what were you talking? I'm very confused.
I was talking about your announcement
Well,
that you did yesterday about UPX World.
Oh, yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what is, but you said the announcement from Upland that has very much to do with UPX World.
Oh, no, the article from Upland. It was talking about Web3 and the Metaverse and Mark Cuban and all that fun stuff.
Oh, I did the tweet like of Mark Cuban going of just absolutely railing against digital properties.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they tweeted like, "Hey, it is like," and he's right, like the whole community thing, right? Like Mark Cuban, like, bro, we got you, we hear
Right.
you, like,
Right.
yeah. Nah, I doubt Cuban's people are not going to be. Well, I don't know. Who knows?
You never know. He gets involved in all kinds of stuff. So
That's right.
you never know. But we'll talk about that. They have stadium builds going on. The Rio de Janeiro tour happened. New cities coming. I mean,
Are all the stadiums maxed out?
They are building all 8 stadiums right now.
Yeah. Are they all fully staked?
I did not look because
Did you stake?
No. I did not stake. And if you look backstage, Franklin's taking us for a ride. He's got his camera on.
Oh, yeah.
And now he disappeared.
Oh, you called him out. Well, though I had a great piece on the Cuban bit. Your Cuban bit. Did I miss the new theme song? No, you did not, Monopoly Mike. That is next week, brother. We were talking about it, so be there.
Yes. All right. So we'll jump right into it since we got a lot to cover. Our market update. So, top 10 city floors. That looks ugly. I mean, I know it's a small drop, but usually we see a mixture of red and green, and the UPX change was just red.
But not like drastically. Like,
no, it's not drastic, but it was all red.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Damn, I like that 30% bump in SF though.
Yeah, it jumped up from right around $16 up. US dollar. Now that's the interesting thing. UPX went red, US dollar went green, basically.
Yeah.
And Manhattan,
that's a new one. That's a new market trend.
Right.
No comment.
No comment.
You can't be tweeting that on our. What? You need to put it like in brackets from Dizzy. What are you doing?
Right.
Jeez, old Pete's.
And now here's the real question though, is the Manhattan drop. We kind of broke that down last week about the floor and then the actual markup percentage. Did we cause a drop in the Manhattan because people watched us?
Oh, the UPX podcast effect, huh?
Right.
Everyone's like, man, got to get on that fiat. It's dirty, dirty cheap.
And it dropped even more.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I mean, under $60, that's as cheap as it's been in a long time. And under 90,000, it's super cheap.
Well, is it because you think people are realizing other value elsewhere? Like, I mean,
absolutely.
That's what Upland is hoping, right? Like, right.
As the communities are being built, as these neighborhoods are being developed, yeah, they're starting to realize there's nothing in Manhattan per se.
That's not fair. Let's I need to be very careful. Like we harsh on Manhattan a lot.
Yeah, it's
yeah. No, I was going to try and say something nice. I don't know. I was like, yeah. No, I mean the reality is there are still some viable neighborhoods in Manhattan. Manhattan is still Manhattan, right? It's New York City proper. Like there are some incredible landmarks there. That is definitely going to be some big business there. I think layer 2, you're going to hear me preach layer 2 because I'm living the layer 2 life. I see that having a high potential in Manhattan. I think the other reason Manhattan isn't seeing as much, maybe as much interest as it right now is because A, it is expensive, but then B, even the buildings, like, do you really want to build an apartment complex where a skyscraper should be?
Right?
It feels bad.
Feels dirty.
Right? Like if I own a huge property in the middle of Manhattan, I don't want to build a micro house that I shouldn't have said that because I just triggered myself. I literally just triggered myself by saying that.
Nice.
So
I mean,
but yeah.
I'm excited about Manhattan. And I'm still bullish on Manhattan, but right now I still think it's early on in Upland. It's early on for the city of Manhattan. Once you're having more partnerships, once you're bringing on more layer 2 stuff, once you're bringing the bigger brands that are wanting to develop, because the landmarks are real life replicas of it, and then you start getting skyscrapers, which will cost like crazy amount of spark to build, or it should.
Do you think, like, have they announced that there's going to be? Because I feel like, well, Lily Corp, right? So San Francisco has a model now that is what I would consider a skyscraper.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. And that's Lily Corp, the Lily Corp Tower, which is super cool. So I guess, because in my mind, I'm like, wow, well, they don't have to be huge, but yeah, do you see them releasing? I feel like they should, right?
I think, like, the way I would like to see it is somebody have a business and an architecture firm in Upland, and they're developing the skyscrapers for you, because I don't want cookie cutter skyscrapers, because if you look across the major cities throughout the world, there are very few skyscrapers that are exactly the same. They always have some uniqueness to it, which makes it pretty special. And I'd like to see that too come into Upland.
Well, why come into Upland? What if I said build an apartment in Manhattan, and in layer 2 we'll make it a skyscraper? We'll make it whatever you want. Like, to me, like, this is the evolution of where layer 1 and level 2 kind of diverge. Is like, now the apartment's a bad example for turning into a skyscraper, because that's not really a fair comparison, because of you really want to keep the same square footage. But like, let's say that they came out with a generic skyscraper. So just an apartment building, like a 4X apartment building, right? And so it's like 4 times the size, holds whatever, huge capacity, right? It's just massive. But, probably still fairly generic as far as layer 1. But then what if in layer 2, again, we're talking about different skins for the buildings and stuff. I could see there being a use case to say, hey, especially if they ever release a building that is that much, because it's really hard. Upland's in a unique place where extending diversity of their building types is a plus and a minus for them. So on the plus side, again, there is some uniqueness in the diversity of buildings. I like that they have like one unique building per city. Like, that kind of makes it feel special. I really like that concept. I've seen some other games use that, where there's like a base model and then one unique, but like decorations, right? So if you have fundamentally different shapes, like the Lily Corp decorations for everything. So now you've split out. Are you going to have decorations per building, or are you only going to have decorations for the foundational ones? Are you going to have
I think there's a solution to that, though. So you have the dimensions, even though the actual shape of the building, they have to follow, the categories have to be certain dimensions. You can have different shapes, sizes, configurations of the structure itself. But when it comes to ornaments, it just kind of slides over it and feels like a cookie cutter, kind of like a box. So, as long as it's this wide by this long, you can do all kinds of stuff to the levels and all that, along with the height too. I forgot about the height, but either way, as long as it fits in this box, you can slide an ornament over it.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Halloween costume. It doesn't have to.
Well, that's what we're
like
doing in layer 2, though. Like, I mean, I completely agree with that, because that's exactly what we're doing in layer 2, is that we're going to take all the dimensions of all the buildings and then just give different skins. So whether it's a Midwest theme or a cyberpunk theme or a horror theme, like whatever it is, like we're just going to reskin all the buildings to have a unique theme. And it could be like we're going to have a Cleveland Browns layer 2, and it's just going to be Cleveland, and then Cleveland, all the buildings are just going to be converted to brown and orange. Is that your colors?
There you go. Look, you're starting to learn things. I like it.
I'm trying because it is important, like when we talk about it, to be able to give examples that are related. Oh man, some more reds, but hey, we got like 10% pluses. But I'm looking for like dramatics.
Yeah, and this is a
Santa
30-day
Clara.
change, so
Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, I like San Francisco up over 30 days. That's good. San Francisco is still not financial advice, et cetera, et cetera. I think is wildly undervalued because of the communities that are there. But I also think the same thing for LA. But that's just because it's not sold out yet.
yeah. I think some numbers got flipped here because San Francisco's not. Oh, okay. San Francisco and Santa Clara got flipped.
Oh, fail.
Yeah.
Bones. What do you think? When no one's talking about bones, calm down. Why do you got to say things that get me all like for no reason?
Yeah. And then here they're right. They're back. So this is 12-week change. This kind of looks ugly.
No, I mean it does, but I mean again, I feel like we should put the 12-week Bitcoin, and Ethereum price next to this.
Right.
Maybe not the 12-week EOS, right? Didn't EOS just have a huge jump? Or is that? Did I make that up?
Have been bad. It did have a pretty good jump.
Yep.
Yeah, it did have a pretty good jump. I can't tell you specifics of it, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw that on markups. Now, this is
crazy right here.
What? Like, this is fascinating to me.
So we'll go back right here. Oop. And the UPX floor price, it's all red, with the exception of Bakersfield, who jumped 5 spots.
Okay.
But we come here to the UPX top floor markup, and everything's going up. So your UPX for the floor went down, but your markup percentage went up.
No, so Doc. Oh, wait. No.
Oh, floor.
I did this last time. So this is my brain got all messed up on it. Wait. Yeah, so this is the percentage markup. Wait, so go back because that was just UPX. But do we have the markup of the floor, or do we have the floor markups?
This is the floor mark. So this is the floor markup.
Well, no, that's the mark. No. So there's a difference between the floor markup and the markup floor.
Right. Okay. I'll grab that really quick. I gotta create that as a something to start looking at, because I did not do that.
No, that's fine. I just want to make sure in my mind, because I think this is the markup floor. So if I took all of if I took all the properties in Fresno, the cheapest property in Fresno would be 256% markup. Like that's the cheapest markup.
That's right? The lowest percent markup in Fresno.
Yes, correct.
The cheapest property in Fresno
is what percent markup?
That percent markup is 453%.
Yeah, so I'm curious, what is that week over week? Because so if the floor fell, is the reason that it fell because people stopped marking it up so much when they went, wait, people are, because like that might be an interesting thing of like if people realize, wait, the floor of Fresno is 9x. Well, I got some Fresno I'll sell for 3x. Let's go. Like,
right.
Like, I don't need to make 9x on these properties. I need some money for the new country. So, boop, liquidate.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now I think we have the nomenclature moving forward.
Yes.
So we have the markup floor.
Yep.
Which would be the cheapest markups in those cities. And then we have the floor markup, So
Correct.
what is the markup on the cheapest properties in that city? Two very different indicators as well. So it is interesting, but that means overall that's interesting because I feel like, is this a better indicator of overall health?
Maybe.
It might be, actually. I feel like this is a better indicator of city health because the floor price is not a good indicator if the floor is like a 5 or 10x. Well, the markup of floor property doesn't mean much, but it does give you an idea of like, holy cow, like the floor is ridiculously marked up. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the value proposition of the city, right? And so I think floor is one metric that maybe for a city like a Detroit or the ones that are like under 5,000 UPX, like that's kind of important. But when you talk about like Manhattan, the floors in Manhattan and San Francisco, they have such high markups that it, to me, is maybe not the best indicator of a tier 1 city. Probably the better indicator would be this, which is the cheapest markup, because like here you can see Manhattan is staying steady. It actually went up to 225, but San Francisco is right there at 200. So the floor and everything makes it look like Manhattan is going nuts. But what people don't realize is that Manhattan was significantly more expensive overall than what San Francisco was. So percent markup wise, which goes directly to the value proposition of monthly earnings and a tier 1 city, that's a big consideration, I would think. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And there's only 3 properties below 350% markup in Manhattan. Now they're bigger properties, they're expensive properties, large up square properties with the Manhattan pricing. But yeah, absolutely. We'll continue to tweak the numbers and figure out some metrics to really bring you the value.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because it's all things we're learning together, right? Like we've not had this volume of information or numbers, or it's hard to really nail down what are the true economic indicators of a growth area. And I'm sure that Upland has their own health indicators, and we know for a fact, because they highlighted it, that percent markup was a big factor for them. Right. So that's something they look at it like, how can we help prevent Rutherford?
Yes.
No.
And even Rutherford's come down too. And
yeah.
I forgot last week, and I want to do it right now. I want to thank Justin for helping us out. So
Justin, shout out, brother. Thank you for helping us.
Yeah, he reached out about a month ago and said that he was willing to help us with the slides. So he's been helping us get the data and put it into the slides and put the slides together for the show. So, and I'm working with him. So he's doing a great job. Really appreciate his help.
You're the man, Justin.
And he has more kids than me.
That's not even possible. That's illegal.
His are older, but still he's got more than me.
Gotcha.
And hopefully,
actually, I'm impressed. That's impressive. I can barely keep one dog alive. I'm like checking on him. Actually, I don't even know where he went. He's probably getting into garbage again. Like, I don't know how you guys keep an entire freaking baseball team, coordinated.
I mean, between the two of us, we can field a starting baseball team.
That's all. Wait, there's a lot of, anyway. Oh, Justin, holy cow. Maybe show different markups for low, medium, large, up square ranges too. That's a really good point, Adam. Yeah, I think that there's a lot more interesting data to be had.
And I think a lot of it's coming to with what UPX World's doing.
I was going to say, I don't know if you've heard of this project I'm working on. It's pretty cool. It's called UPX World. And we are, so the data that we're talking about right now is a lot more difficult to get because of the data structure. I'm not going to get into it. The long and short of it is
it will be coming.
Coming soon. Yes, check out UPX World. But the data, I'm very, very proud and excited of the data site that's coming along. The backend data is, I'm a data nerd, so very much looking forward to that.
And then here's the US dollar floor markup percentage. The bottom.
Wait. See, we need to get aligned on terminology. Because now this is the way that this reads is Upland floor USD
markup.
The floor USD markup. So is this, if I went to go buy the cheapest USD property, this is the markup for the cheapest USD property, or is this the cheapest markup of USD? Is this the markup floor or the floor markup?
So if you look at Kansas, we'll go with Kansas City since it's one of the 3 cheapest cities right now and had a 5% drop. You have a property out there for, it was minted for 18,450 UPX and it's currently for sale for $10.60, which is a 56% markup. So,
okay. So that is actually the markup floor. That is the Upland USD markup floor, not the floor markup. Right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. And I appreciate as well if you are, first of all, if you are listening on our podcast on the Spotify, I am sorry. This has to be a brutal segment. You probably fast forward through because you can't see all of the fantastic numbers. I hope that you come over and check out our YouTube. And also for us watching YouTube, like it is like when we start talking about these numbers, it is complicated because there's a lot of different dimensions. So we'll make sure we kind of streamline the wording.
Yeah.
So, floor markup versus markup floor. Like that's the really,
Yep.
And I think for the most part, you're doing the markup floor, which makes sense. If you just go, if you sort by markup, right? So that's what you're doing is just sort by markup. This is what you get in USD.
And you are right. I did misword that. And that is misleading. It only took about 5 or 6 episodes for you to catch that.
They're just you guys, you and Justin put together a lot of fantastic data and numbers. So usually I'm too enthralled looking at all the numbers. But this week, those numbers are looking fairly stable, which is good.
Right.
And so it was more like, holy cow, like that is really cheap. Because now I would be curious.
I mean, you got 10 cities under 75% that you can buy with US dollars and you're going, I mean, that's the crazy part is the ones that are fit. So Kansas City, Los Angeles, Nashville, you can snag properties right now for 56%. Not many out there in those cities at that value, but that value is still out there. And you're almost, you're pushing almost close to 28%, over 25% ROI on property earnings if you purchase this for US dollars.
Which is insane. But now what is the USD floor markup? So for Kansas City or whatever, what's the cheapest? Probably Detroit. Like who's got the cheapest USD?
Detroit.
Okay, so what is the Detroit USD floor markup?
Detroit USD. Oh, I closed that out. Hold on. Looking right now. It is 64%.
Okay, wow. So even the cheapest.
So people have listed since I updated this number.
Well, no, but wait. Is that the cheapest? So that's the $3 properties are 64% markup?
Actually, that property right now is $6.50.
Wait, no. What's the cheap? No. Sort it by cheapest USD.
Oh, cheapest USD is $3.
Yep.
And it's $3.
What's the markup percent on that?
78%.
Holy crap. So even the USD floor is under mint.
Yes.
That's shocking to me. I was definitely expecting the USD floor to be a lot closer to mint or even over mint, because I assume like, you know, you buy a 500 UPX property and you flip it for $3, but that means that people are buying 5,000 UPX properties and selling them for $3.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, it was, yeah, you had the,
because I feel like to me at the bottom end, that's a more like for the bottom, like
so 3,828 UPX, and they're selling currently for $3.
Well, that's not, I mean, but still, like, that's kind of sad. But it's also because, like, if I'm so we've heard it numerous times, and I think it's a valid strategy to some degree of buying floor properties and then selling for USD. So taking your earnings, buying floor properties, selling for USD. So I can see I would sell at the floor, right? That's 100%. I would buy at the floor, sell at the floor.
Right.
So.
And then the bottom 5 city floors: Detroit, Queens, Chicago, Fresno, Cleveland. Kind of took a step back, still pretty stable. US dollars, pretty stable there. Nothing to get too excited about. Sold out. Chicago, still at 99%. Everybody's creeping up. Los Angeles is not creeping up. Nashville's not creeping up. Kansas City's not creeping up. But Las Vegas, Queens, Detroit, they've all bumped up a percentage this week.
Nice. Also, shout out to my boy Mike from Hyde Park Ninjas. He actually like texted me a screenshot of the numbers and was like he got me the data faster. I'm just saying that's the power of ninjas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not a ninja.
Ninja.
All right. So unminted properties available, 450,589.
Is this I like this minus number. That's essentially how many minted
over the last week. That's correct.
Wow. Look at Detroit and Queens, which again, like I'm telling you, those are some sleeper communities. They're building up. Like, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah. This week, only 7,187 properties were minted. Last week, there was 9,690 properties minted. So it was a down week in minting. I'm starting to trend those numbers of total mints. We do have, and last week was greater than 9,000 because you had the Rio release last week too. So it was greater than that. But but it sold out right away. So I don't know how we count that, but these are the cities that have been around for a while that are continuing to supply the top tier, the middle tier, and the new player.
Yeah, once we start getting like there's so much. I can't wait to start having access to the data that we're gonna have. Because like I'm like, man, I wonder, like I want to know also like what I don't think anybody does anybody report like how many properties were sold each week? Like what was the volume of transactions week over week of like how many Chicago properties were sold secondhand? Like I'm curious. Like how many of each city were sold secondhand?
I know we used to get those numbers when UPX World was originally there. And we had some other people running numbers for us, but I haven't been able to watch as much content as I used to be able to watch. So I don't know if anybody else is reporting on that or not, but we used to report that. We haven't in a while. And that was one of the interesting things that I always love reporting on.
All right. Well, I'll add it. Cause yeah, I think like that'll be interesting. And honestly, the reason I say that is because I think Upland is trending. Like, I don't think Upland's concerned about these numbers. Like, I think they're okay with the steady minting of these. They're not looking for these cities to sell out. I think that they want, and again, we could pull the Cuban card of like, it's not about selling properties. It's about building community. And that's exactly what Upland has been doing for 3+ years. Like they've been building community. That's why we're all here. So anyway.
Yeah. And, Upland cleaned up a lot of the secondary accounts or multi-accounting. There's still multi-accounting going on, and we do have a lot of sleuths out there addressing that. But there's 114,000 people interacting with their wallet each week, and which is pretty stable and steady. And then the 30-day, we're starting to go up to 212. We were getting close to 200,000 over the 30 days. So there has been an uptick of people
200
checking
or
in.
300?
We were getting close to we got close to 300,000, and then it like dropped way down, and we almost crossed below 200,000. And once again, this is just from DApp Radar. Upland has more accurate statistics than this, and this is just what DApp Radar is able to identify here. But yeah, we're on the upswing too. We crossed 212.5 thousand over 30 days.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for. I mean, I know what they're waiting for. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for, but I have my suspicions on like they're waiting for more stuff, because this isn't necessarily public, but they did reopen the sandbox and some of the other credential stuff. Like, so there is third-party development is off in full swing as of today. So
yes. Yep.
I don't know if that was included.
We'll talk about that here shortly.
Oh, you got it. How do you have that information? That's not
well. Okay, maybe you got some. Okay, I wasn't on the same thing as you, but okay, whatever.
No, if you're talking about that other thing that was announced today,
yeah,
the asset creator thing.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm talking something different. This is for people in the UDN,
okay.
the Upland Development Network, which is they had a sandbox for hackathon that they took down while they were tweaking and modifying APIs, and they just now, I believe, they had an announcement internally to that team. So,
okay. Stadium projects. Got stadiums going on. There's 8 stadiums left to be built. You have
like, is that all of the stadiums in the entire like?
Oh no,
football league, or
no, they're nowhere close. So you got Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas
City.
City. Vegas.
They haven't even released all the cities. What?
Right.
So, sorry, Upland. I'm sorry, Upland UPX podcast listeners. I'm sure you were like, "What are you?" Sorry. Okay, so you're saying that the 8 that would essentially would fill out all of the cities that have been released with their corresponding cities.
Correct. So Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, Vegas, Nashville, New Orleans, New York, which is the MetLife Stadium, and then San Francisco, which is in actually Santa Clara.
Very cool.
Now, all you need to do is stake 0.01 Spark. It's hard to get in there. They're taking snapshots daily. They're going to award 10 2021 Fire Mementos bundles per stadium. So they're going to give out 2 Fire Mementos bundles per stadium. So 16 in total. 10 winners will receive 1 2021 2 Fire Memento bundle. That makes no sense.
None of that made sense. I don't understand any of the words that you just said. None of those numbers added up.
Oh, wait. Okay.
We're going to try that again.
For each day, it makes sense now. For each stadium drawing 10 winners. So there will be 80 total winners, and each winner will get 2021 Fire Memento bundles. 2.
Wait, what was the number you cut out?
So
they get 1 Fire Memento bundle. Fire Memento. I can't even say the word. They get 2 fire. Wait, hold on. Is it 2 bundles or 1 2 fire bundle?
2 fire bundles. 10 winners. 10 winners for each stadium.
My brain. No, is it 2 bundles total, or is it 1 2 fire bundle? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because there's right. So it's the number of fire things, because you can have 1 3 fire bundle, 1 2 fire bundle, like, or is it 2 just fire bundles?
No, they're talking about the fire bundles themselves, and you're going to get 2 of them.
Who's on first? You know it's bad when Dr. Nobody.
And they do have.
I can't even.
So you and the caps, the jerseys, and game balls will have 2 fire stats, but you're also getting 2 mementos. Does that help you now?
No, it's just not.
So you're going to get
How many mementos am I
killing
getting
me.
if I win this? How many mementos? This is insane. What's a fire bundle? I have no idea.
So for
I have
this
no
one,
idea.
this is for weeks 1 through 13. Each bundle contains a 2-pack, which can be a cap, a jersey, or a game ball, and they have 2 fire stats
Okay, so I get a 2-pack. So I'm going to get 2 mementos
in a pack.
each with at least 2
And-
fire.
Right, and you're going to get 2 packs. So
I'm
you're
going to get 2 packs. So I'm going to get 4 total.
Yes.
Jeez, oh Pete, could they have picked any more confusing? I'm so confused. So I get 2 fire. I get two fire packs, which
Right.
each have 2 fire mementos, which
Right.
means I get 4 2 fire mementos.
Right. So then you got 8 fires.
Minimum of 8 fires.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And there's 10 winners per stadium, and there's 8 stadiums.
We're not.
We spent way too long on this.
Oh my gosh.
This segment.
For those of you who just sent your kids off to school, this is what it feels like when they have to count apples. Okay, like, geez, old Pete. If you are a elementary school teacher that has to use these examples, feel free to use this fire sample to make your kids hate their lives.
Nice job, NFT architect. It's kind of hard to get staked on all of them. So
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Good on you.
So a fire stat is what Upland has deemed as a good game. I don't know who they coordinate with because it's interesting. You have offensive linemen, defensive linemen, long snappers that do have fire stats to them, and some of them have been in question, but it's more perceived as a good game. So you have an offense player that has a lot of receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns. They can have different fires to that. It just depends on the position, but basically it's better than just the average one. And there's a nice little flame next to the stat.
Yeah, I think like they have like, it's like a combination of the league averages of that particular stat and their personal average of that particular stat. And if it's over a certain threshold, it essentially gets a fire to say, hey, they did really good in this stat. For the winning, so actually to get a fire stat on your game, you have to win, and you have to win by like 10 points. Like, so if your team wins by 10 points, for instance, you'll get a fire stat on that.
Man, look at you go.
Hey man, when you're building a layer 2 that uses all this nonsense, you kind of have to learn it a little bit more.
Rio had a tour.
B-Fly, did they team up with somebody, or what is that?
Yeah, I got to look into that one. I saw that as I was putting it together, and I just didn't have time to look into B-Fly. So we'll definitely check it out. But city tours are always nice. You get to go around, and you always get some sort of reward, and you get to learn a little more about a city.
Yeah, it's always kind of fun. Is that a Dr. Pepper I hear opening? It is not. Today is not sponsored by Coke Zero, the other diet beverage that I enjoy.
There you go. All right. The Uplanders Designer Guild. So how do you feel?
Nope. You can just give your comments, and then I'm gonna keep sipping this delicious.
Well, I want your opinion. You know, you have $18 million in Series A funding, and you reach out to have designers join a guild, and it's pretty simple. You just submit your portfolio, with your 3D models, and then you can be part of this guild to help design more stuff for Upland. They haven't really talked about compensation. So I guess that's my hard spot is I love the community's creativity. Hopefully they're just compensated in a fair way.
That is a fair assessment. That is a fair and balanced assessment. Too stupid. We should use that as the clip for this segment.
Why are you not commenting?
Because I had and still have kind of a knee-jerk reaction to it. And I'm trying to like wait just because it makes me feel a certain kind of way. We have
I think these players
I
and the
know
creative players should be able to have businesses.
No, 100%. Like, and this is what is frustrating, and I worry about. I don't know because I don't know enough about the program. I know that Upland has some insanely talented artists and creators and absolutely everything like that. I have a lot of open questions around, how they're going to be using these players' IPs, how they're going to be compensated. No offense if it's anything like UCN or the mods or anything where I have to assume it'll be different, but like that to me,
because it's so vague. The mission is
super
vague. The mission is to assist the Upland team in designing various assets and move those assets into Upland as quickly as possible, which is awesome. And these are things that we're asking for. But then they're like, guild members have proven their design skills and have the option to work with the Upland team to earn rewards such as UPX and more. Well, why don't you have that? Why don't you set them up with the business? Set them up with a business to push these.
Well, no, because
here.
here's what they need. Like they need people to design buildings. They need people to design block explorers. Like if they're still planning on pumping those out, like they're probably be, like we've already seen, especially the directors block explorers, which honestly they should honestly discontinue.
Stop. Just stop those now.
Because it's just getting insane and ridiculous and completely abused. Like, and IP. So I just go, if that's what they're using to create for, like, I don't know, because I'm starting a project myself. I'm starting a new gaming platform and I'm also recruiting artists from the community. So I can vouch firsthand that there is some insane talented UPX don't pay the rent. That's fair. Like that's true. Yeah. And again, they have the money to like, I don't know, because this is why I'm not judging. I'm trying to because I think that this is just, we've seen them do a lot of really cool stuff with the decorations and some really good profit share with those things and the ornaments. And I know, that those players get pretty well compensated in UPX and stuff. I need to know more about it. I'm curious.
And even they said, why should you join the guild? And it says, a task could be to add texture or color to a 3D model, such as a landmark. In return, you would receive a certain amount of UPX when the model is brought to life in Upland. But what if they don't want UPX? What if they want cash? What if, there's a lot more to it. Block explorers, you have block explorer shops, and a lot of people went into it thinking that they were going to be able to design their block explorers, which would take a huge burden off the Upland team if they just let these people do that with, have them sign strong contracts talking about IP infringement, and they will be held responsible and not the Upland team if they infringe on IP.
Yeah, it's easy. That's easier said than done, because if Upland is selling it directly, they take that liability because
right.
So I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Don't think this is legal advice, but as I would understand it, that still would take a tremendous burden off if the workflow was just vet and approve these, because it's not just IP infringement that you have to worry about. It's somebody just knocking. Well, I guess it's kind of IP, but we've seen it now where essentially it's just a copy paste director's block explorer specifically.
Right. Change a color scheme, change a pattern.
Well, no, it gets kind of, and I know there's people have different thresholds of acceptance, and it's again, when does it become a completely different model? If you add one new element and change the foundational color, is that a new element? Do you think? No. I don't. That's fair, architect. I wouldn't go as far to say I think it's a bad idea of joining. No. I would be cautious if it requires a non-compete of any kind. That specifically, I'm going to be very, very, very selfish right here, because architect, I know that you are doing some amazing work for UPX World. And so, I think all artists should explore all opportunities. This sounds super cool. If I had the art chops to do what I think that they wanted, I would throw my name in the hat. I don't, so I'm not going to. I absolutely think you should. And so, yeah.
I would say join it, but I would also ask, I mean, it's great for players that don't want to put a lot of money in and want to build UpX so they can
That's true.
expand their Upland real estate empire, which is awesome there too. But also, what more is there? Because I think this can be spun off into some meta ventures, and that's just the angle that I was going through. Is some of this stuff should be meta ventures, and what do they need to put in place to spin this off as meta ventures? This could be a good transition from, hey, you're part of the designer guild, and now we're going to give you a meta venture because you've proven yourself, which is a total entire possibility there too.
Oh,
I'm
well, you know
just
what? I like that. I like where you're headed there. What if it's, oh, you know what? I got to be careful because there's been numerous times that I've underestimated not numerous times. There's been a handful of times that I've underestimated the Upland team and they've surprised me. This actually might be one of them. I'm wondering, I don't know, or I'm just, what if what you said about the meta ventures, what if this is the foundation where they're going to have the designer guilds be maybe the meta ventures can commission the designers guilds, right? Because you and I both went through this decor, right? And so I can tell you right now, one of the biggest pains has been this, and it's been a learning experience for everybody, and there's no one's fault. And shout out to Jennifer from the MetaVenture, Upland MetaVentures, running that. Fantastic community leader.
Jennifer went above and beyond what her general responsibilities were and her general work hours to make things happen with the MetaVentures decor shops. So definitely shout out to her. Really appreciate the time and the effort she put in to make the people participating in it successful.
Yeah. And I mean, you and I can both vouch, like those models and those things are complex. You have multiple LODs, which is level of detail. You have very specific baking requirements for the finishing materials and the outside, and they need it in a very specific way. And that takes a lot of iterations for their art team to go through it and things like that. And I've always contended it would be very easy if you had somebody who understood the exact process and you enabled them and you empowered them to go like, hey, this is it. This is exactly how we want it. You know it. Now go work with TML. And then we're going to give you a cut of the venture dues, right? So the venture dues get then paid out to the designer guilds, potentially. Like some of the venture dues go to the designer guilds who help out the meta ventures, right? So like maybe that's how it works. And I would happily give a commission cut to a designer that's helping, say, if we were running a Block Explorer shop that was designing Block Explorers, or as we own decor shops that run the decor. Holy cow, that would be fantastic if Upland empowered the meta venture owners to say, hey, we have a designers guild and we're going to have a process to match creators with business owners, which is fantastic because if that's not what they're doing, that's certainly what we're doing at UPX World. So if that, because that's our entire model, is we empower creators to create and earn income from themselves. And if this guilds is like that, I hope it's closer to that and a whole lot less not that I love UCN. I'm very happy to be a member of UCN. I'm wearing my Upland t-shirt swag, hashtag merch, hashtag Upland UPX 15 for 15% off. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Upland, etc. But the Upland, the UCN, we were supposed to have our own broadcasting buildings. Why can't we have that? Where is that? That we should have a MetaVenture tag where that you can go to and see the information about, the UPX podcast.
Right.
We don't. And so there's things like that. And we had monthly payouts, we had quarterly payouts. And now, I mean, they have the bounties, right? So, I mean, we're getting these bounties, which are, I think, all in UPX.
Yes. And you create content and it's, the top 3 videos on that subject, they get awarded an UPX, which is fine. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess if it's like that, I don't know. It's just something about, and I guess it's the same thing. I don't know.
So my thing here was just, I didn't like the vagueness of it And I'm hoping it drives these people that are approved in this guild for MetaVentures so they can do bigger things, because all the stuff you read on on Upland is they want to drive the community to develop these things. And right now you're having people come in under this guild. So I just wanted more clarity, and hopefully it goes
Yeah,
in the
but here's the
direction we're
thing.
talking.
Here's the thing. Artists aren't business people, a lot of them, right?
True.
Like, so like that's the thing, is like just saying, hey, an artist can be a MetaVenture owner. Well, they don't necessarily want to be, they don't necessarily, and this is not any slight against them, of like, they're not
No.
they're not going to run their own marketing, just like I can't do my own, decor design. Like, to me, it's not a either or. To me, it's, well, actually, we need these artists and we need to give them revenue streams, and then we're going to empower them by connecting them with business people who are going to run these meta ventures.
And that
So,
works too.
because I mean, and again, sorry, broken record, that's what we're doing at UPX World. We have artists, we have business people, we have, creatives of different types, and we bring them together so that way everybody can make the money. The business people who are running the shops in the front end and the games can partner with the storytellers and the creators. And I hope that's what this is. And that's why a little bit I'm like, it's hard because I'm happy for Upland, and it's hard because I know that that's kind of what I'm also doing in a way. So
Right. All right.
But yeah.
Ready to move on?
So ready.
New city release coming up on Monday, August 23rd.
Wow.
Or wait, Tuesday the 23rd. Sorry.
Tuesday?
Yeah. Wait, Thursday, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah. All right. So this is the second international city. It is, why do they say no airport? You got to have an airport to get over to Portugal. And they even sold airport terminals.
Maybe no local. Maybe that's a mess up. Because wait, is there a train terminal? There can't be. Does a train go to wherever? The other place?
I do have the travel slide. We'll jump to the travel slide.
Fly to Lisbon, train to Portugal. Is that it? Oh, is that one?
Yeah.
Oh,
so you got Lisbon.
Oh, so you don't. There isn't.
So, okay, I get it. There's no airport in Porto, but there is one in Lisbon, and that is the hub. So Lisbon's going to be the hub for at least the start of Portugal. So you had the Lisbon, because I registered for the terminal sales. I didn't pay that close attention. I just went in, register. And then then I could buy in 18 weeks and 3 hours. So I was just like,
really?
No, it wasn't that big, but
that would have been, that's a record for sure.
I'm just getting more extreme with the dates of how long I'm in line.
Yeah. Which, you know what though, and I think this is true. You can't fly because they're only international terminals. So you can't fly Rio to Lisbon.
But Rio is an international terminal because you're coming in from international cities.
Oh yeah. So why can't you fly from Rio to?
I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, because those are different countries.
Right.
Wait. I was thinking like it was in like the US, so it's like flying domestic, but it's not. It's definitely not. Wait. Hold on. What are we missing, Upland?
Why can't you fly from Rio?
Why can't we fly from? I saw those comments, but I didn't really think too much about it because I was like, oh, it's just because they are only doing international. They don't have domestic flights there. And then I was like, wait, they're all internet. Like,
and especially if you've been down to Rio for anything that's been going on down there, the neighborhood expansions, the treasure rushes, or just hanging out and chilling. Now you got to go back to either LAX, San Francisco, Chicago, or JFK.
Jeez, that's expensive. right? Because I mean, that's like five.
But look,
5,000 UPX to then do the round trip, or to go from Rio. Is it 5,000 UPX to go from Rio to Portugal?
no, or from I don't know what to go from Rio to Portugal, but you know, you got anywhere from 2,300 UPX to 3,900 UPX, depending on where you're flying from. But the times aren't bad, you know, to go from LAX on the west coast of the United States all the way to Portugal in 93 minutes. That's not a bad time.
I mean, I guess.
I'd take that.
Oh, is this the first time that there's ever been an airport in an unreleased city? Yeah.
I
think it's the first time they've ever released an airport that wasn't like
right.
that city.
Well, you had JFK, which is technically in Queens for the Manhattan release.
I mean, JFK, like that's.
But you could go from JFK right into Manhattan. You didn't have to take a train. So this is the first time that you fly into a city and then take a train to a city they're about to release.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a unique launch. That is a historical moment. That's a first, an Upland first.
And 33% is going to be FSA. And also they said about 33,000 properties on the first release.
So do we feel like it's going to sell out?
Oh, it's going to go quick.
You think
Absolutely.
So?
Oh, yeah.
Huh. It's interesting.
Because they also said, so it's the first European city, you know, so even though it's the second international, it's the first European city. They're going to go 35,000 parcels. I'm sorry.
I need to get a map.
It sounds like there's 35,000 total. It's a small, medium-priced city.
Going to Tom Elkins, here it is. Tom is calling it sell out in 30 minutes.
I can see it. Yeah. So, are you going to go fly over there?
No.
I know. Just redundant question.
I haven't left. I haven't left the States, I don't think. Did I fly to Rio? What did I fly to Rio for?
I don't know.
I don't know if I did. I don't know. No, I don't really plan on it. Not really. Lisbon in 3 weeks. There you go. Yeah. Tom is just aiming for the fences now.
So it's going to be released in vanilla mode, which we do like. Now the interesting thing is they're launching a social media contest, and 10 winners will receive a VIP entrance and seating for the SC Porto home game on August 20th and some Upland swag. And that's more for the people living right there in Portugal.
I mean, you know, I'm all about the swag. So when they come out with that Portugal swag, you know I'll be buying it.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Another fun city, and that will be exciting to see. Yeah, I didn't get to finish this slide.
What is this slide?
That was actually the picture that they had for the article on the Metaverse land and the platform moment for Web3.
Oh,
yeah. And in response to Mark Cuban's interview on Altcoin Daily YouTube, where he pretty much said that the Metaverse is the dumbest shit ever. And I can say that because I was quoting Mark Cuban, who has way more money than all of us.
That's true.
But Cuban is big on innovation in Web3. You know, he related it to the iPhone and the App Store platform, you know, so the iPhone came out and it encouraged a lot of developers to put their creations on the App Store. And that really exploded how we use phones. Android was doing the same thing about the same time, but you know, all the cool kids got iPhones, and that's how that works.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm looking to be. I want to make the iPhone to the current Android metaverse landscape. And I think the user and consumer base of those particular products at its core is also representative of that, because I feel like the Android, there's a very, not, I don't want to say a specific personality, but like they tend to be like a little bit more of the techie or whatever. There's some, like, I don't know, like I'm an Apple user, so I have to be careful on that. But like, yeah. Anyway.
And one of the things that Dirk pointed out in his article is so Cuban had skepticism of metaverse land, and it's justified given the economics of many projects that are out there. We've seen the pump and dumps, we've seen the
Oh yeah.
pools, we've seen all the crashes. And there's a misalignment between landowners and game players, and it creates a speculator and spectator scenario. And it could bring value, but those who are not would not enjoy the value creation. So it doesn't create a community. And Cuban pointed that out. But here in Upland, we've had a community. That was the cool thing when you got in early on Upland, is the community and all these neighborhoods that are springing it about in Upland, and the cool stuff that's going on in each of these and what they're focused on. You have people focused on comics. You got a hip hop cannabis. You have, the Wood Hood focusing, their merch is going to autism. They're doing cool stuff. There's so many cool things out there. And I think,
Hyde Park Ninjas.
Yep. And you do have the land scarcity, but also here you have the everything based off of a real world address versus Sandbox. And Sandbox has done a good job of bringing brands in to create stuff. And as we've always said, Upland's playing the slow game here. The interesting thing, though, is Cuban is an investor in Yuga Labs. And I'm like, so you're going to call the metaverse kind of dumb, but yet you're in Yuga Labs.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Do you think that do you think he knows everything he's invested in though? Like at a certain point when your portfolio gets big enough, don't you just have people that are managing a lot of that for you?
Some of the things I think he takes personal interest in and really dives into, and then other things, some of the smaller things he has other people just kind of do for him.
Yeah, so like I don't know, does he own like a 30% share, or does he own 1% or something?
I don't know how much you put into it. I know they put the dollar amount, but I'm not sure how much of a percentage it was for it, And Dirk did make another point that Upland is a nonfiction metaverse map for the real world, and land ownership in Upland is the gateway to the economy. And that's really where it starts getting into, the operated shops, the block explorer shops, the decor shops, and the level 2 that's going to start coming. UPX World is a great example of user generated content to the extreme. You'll have the user generated content in the game with everything, hopefully architect shops, transportation buildings, all that stuff we've always highlighted. But then you also have the level 2, which you see in some of these other games out there.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Oh, have you seen, because I know you're busy, and I'm not even mad at you, but, let me see. Can I share? Hold on. Do you want to see a new demo? It's a new video.
Go for it.
Find the screen. Window. Movies, TV. Share. Put this here. Oh my gosh. Why is it not playing? Oh, there we go. All right. So this is the latest from UPX World. Shout out to Land for Land. So this is the Xlander. So that's our avatar. This is an example one. We have one being made. walking out of his small townhome where you could see he was playing Upland on TV. This is what do you see in the background? Can you tell that the
What's with the turtles in the back, and why is he walking down the middle of the street?
Dude, that's how he's gangster. He's walking down the street. He's going to the best Ferris wheel ever.
Is that a turtle Ferris wheel?
Dude, you know it is. Look at that. Look at that. Dude, he walks in like a G. Yeah, he walks like a G. He's got the G walk. And yeah, so I mean, this is a little bit more of a display of kind of what we're building at. And yeah, some of the creativity of the team. They were really pleased with themselves with the TML Ferris wheel, which I appreciated. So there you go. If you hadn't seen it, this is not released on YouTube or anything. So this is
now it is
exclusive. It was on one of my Twitch streams earlier this week. Oh, that's not taking it off the screen. But anyway, it's not published itself anywhere yet. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought you guys might enjoy that. So again, like that's where we're starting to build on top of, that Upland, and that's those artists and people that are contributing it to it. We very much have our own community guild. And now, again, I'm not discouraging anyone. Please do not take any, we have no idea. We are very excited. Everything we do, we hope is successful for Upland. So if you are an artist and that guild sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. I can't imagine they've never had any sort of non-compete kind of thing or hey, you can't do external projects, but just make sure, because you obviously don't want to, if you're working with a third party or an existing meta venture, creating assets for them, I can't imagine that Upland would say no by participating, because it sounds like they're going to do tasks. It sounds like they have a backlog of maybe stuff that needs to be rendered or baked or whatever, and they're just going to give the Upland community a chance to kind of help out with it, which could be cool. So,
and honestly, we've always said that Upland's playing the slow game. Just already said it, but as it develops, with the Web3, the true ownership of the digital assets, yes, you don't have your private keys deals. Yeah, we get that. You haven't heard that as much as you did in the original days of Upland. No, because we're starting to attract the non-crypto people into it. But
right.
As the communities grow, the economy is going to open up for the developers, the designers, the service providers, the hustlers, everything out there. And it's going to be a great place to build killer applications with Web3 tools. And it will be a true creators platform. And, you guys right now are in the forefront doing UPX World.
Yeah.
Do I say you guys, or can I include myself?
Nah, you can include it. Why not?
Why not? Sure.
You can include everyone who watches it. If you are an UPX podcast watcher, you are almost certainly involved in UPX World somehow. I know a lot of the names I see here are. So I say we as a community, because it's the first gaming platform ever built by a gaming community.
Right.
Think about that. Let that sink in. This will be the first ever true gaming platform built by a gaming community and run by and have revenue shared with its own gaming community and of creators. That's insanely cool to me. And
congratulations there. UPX World has secured funding for the first phase of UPX World. So congratulations there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so we had a round one funding. We were able to raise $50,000 for round one. Support of some amazing investors, including Spread the Cure. Thank you very much to Spread the Cure. Thank you to Orca.digital, who also invested in UPX World, and then other private contributions who wish to remain anonymous at this time, which is completely fair. Thank you for that. So we did have a full round of funding for that, which is fantastic. Should get us through, kind of the alpha stage of gameplay, proof of value. We're hoping that also covers like the data site, which I know has been a big thing that people have missed. So it's going to get us to a good starting spot to then be able to take those next steps of either looking for grant money through different projects or looking for other funding or sponsorship opportunities. So yeah, very, very exciting and so grateful to those brands. We'll also be doing some really interesting stuff with Spread the Cure, looking to create an educational game to help raise awareness for the amazing work that Spread the Cure is doing, as well as just help, create a fun and interactive learning game in relationship to kind of some of the science and philosophy that they run there. So really just exciting times altogether. I couldn't be happier with the community that we're building and the people that we're partnering up with now. Thank you, Hyde Park Ninjas. Yes. And that's why I see like Hyde Park Ninjas, like we're working with them. Like we're going to be doing some martial arts stuff. We can't really announce anything yet, but like we're in talks. Like Mike has been hooking it up and we have good people there. Dr. Nobody, if you don't know about 1111 Studios, he is an amazing curator of art that's looking to bring some wicked new art projects in, some like, I don't know, survival of the fittest art auctions, like battle to the top. There's some amazing stuff. And so I say we as a community, if you're listening now, you're definitely part of the future of Web3. And we're excited that you're here.
Absolutely. Next week, we do have Mars, Utah coming on. Very excited for it. So I do have the instrumental that Mars is making the new. This goes hard.
I love this.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what Mars, Utah does to that. And I just love how the beat drops and starts hitting hard on that. So
yeah, man, I wonder, so have you heard any? Because you said you were kind of working with it. So have you heard bits?
No, I've only worked with them on finding the beat for the song.
Oh,
so I haven't heard any of the lyrics. I haven't heard anything like that. And, we had a couple of different beats in mind, but that one ended up being the one that he went with, and I love it, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, I can't wait.
Yeah, and then it was nice that we could go back to Ghost Beats, and he's still banging those out. So,
dude, why don't we just buy Ghost Beats? Ghost Beats, come join us. Dude, come be the. Do you have contacts with him?
I've emailed him once, and that was like when I wanted to buy the rights to it outright. So that was 2 years ago. So I have not, but I know how to get a hold of him. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on in music production, and he's got some online classes, and you can get he's got classes with Just Blaze. And if you're not a hip hop person, Just Blaze was a big hip hop producer in the late 90s. And he's got like master classes with Just Blaze teaching you how to create beats and manipulate sounds and make loops.
He's not just like a rando he's like actually like, now I feel kind of bad. All right, Ghost Beats. I don't know why. Just like you made it seem like, I don't know, like where you find these resources. Like, we have a lot of artists that work that are really just like unknown. That's kind of what I thought you were talking about. But no, if this dude's got like master classes, you could be like, who are you guys? So you're like, you know who I am? I run master classes. Get out of here.
No, I mean, I don't think that he's done a major song that's hit the charts, but he's got the talent, and you can hear influence of other songs on some of the music that he makes, and he makes music under a couple of different names. But yeah, I've checked him out pretty in depth and love the work that he does.
Goodness, you would have thought like you were dating him. My God, why do you know?
Oh, okay, you got to go there. I got it.
Well, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be fair, I was gonna say it's what is your daughter dating him? But then like your kids are way too young for that. So I was just like, I had to like I was like running out of room, and I was like, you dating him? Because I realized like if you had a teenage daughter, it might have been funnier, but you don't. So
that still would have been creepy.
It would have been funny to me though.
Oh, okay.
For the record, when we're celebrating our whatever 12-year anniversary, and your daughter's dating, and I will make a joke like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Anyway.
I did feel bad because she bugged me all summer to do an intro again to the show.
Oh no.
But I told her that she can't because we're doing video now, and I've just never took the time to record it. So we might record. I might have to get with you so we can record an intro and play that instead.
Yeah, definitely. Come on now.
Yeah, and
she's been one of our most loyal followers.
Yeah, next to Mixplex Kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, so she wants to do one, and her whole summer. I'm like, we'll do it this summer, and they start school next week. So
gotta get on that, man.
Yeah.
Have her introduce the new theme song. Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
All right, we're pushing an hour and a half here now. You have anything before we get out of here?
So I don't know if you guys have heard. I'm working on this new project called UPX World.
Yeah, we got that.
No. Thanks everybody for listening, and I'm really excited for next week. New intro. Let's go.
We always appreciate everybody's support, your comments, and definitely nobody sent me, will you accept that deal in a long time? So please send us the trades. Hopefully we're able to pull some stuff from data so we can just pull it up anyway and people don't have to send it to me. Either way, please send us that because we always love breaking down trades. Excited for the new data that will be coming. Thank you, Justin, for the help that you've been doing the last couple of weeks as we're ironing stuff out. Everybody be safe, have fun. You don't want to miss next week with Mars, Utah, and we'll see you out in the metaverse.
It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, ThankMeLater, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up. Session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way in the door, hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin' in UPX.